Greetings, Team EOSD. It's Dr. Dana Walker, one of your assistant superintendents of school over here in the curriculum department, and I'm doing my second screencast as we work through the Innovator's Mindset, this year's district-wide professional read. Thank you to those who have joined your Google Classroom. Those who have not, you probably received an invitation to join from me over the last couple of days, so I would encourage you to do so. Just a side note, if by chance you received an invitation to a classroom that you don't feel suits your assignment, by all means just look at the list and please choose the appropriate classroom. So periodically, I thought I would come to you virtually to support this great work that we're doing here in the district. I am going to just spend a few minutes, so I probably won't get past chapter 1. If you've read the introduction in chapter 1, you actually know how jam-packed with information these chapters are. If I were doing this study and we were in a classroom setting that were a little traditional, I probably would have begun with you doing a pre-assessment, maybe for your anticipatory set. I would have asked you to define innovation. And I wonder if your responses would match the response that George Couros has when he defines innovation on page 19. It really does combine two words, invention, which is something totally new, and iteration, which is a change of something that already exists. So I've been thinking about this. Of course, I've had the advantage of having the book for quite a while, and I wonder honestly whether or not we overuse or misuse the word innovation. So that's something that I'd like for you to sort of be on the lookout for as you're working through this study professionally and certainly during your teaching. We want to ensure that when we use terms in education, we're actually using them accurately. So you're probably doing a number of wonderful things, but are they truly innovative? Do they change something? Are they something new? Or is it just a substitution, which sometimes is fine, a new way to do something? I think about the blockbuster story that opens chapter 1 and how powerful that is, and how Blockbuster actually, depending on who sees this, you may not have even heard of Blockbuster if you're young enough. And that's just an example of how things come and go and how you have to be willing to change. So we definitely don't want to be blockbusters here in EOSD. Maybe we'll coin that. Maybe that'll be a thing, blockbusters, for those who don't get on and change, almost like the Who Moved My Cheese, and then you wonder, why didn't I? What happened? If I had known it was going to blow up that way, I would have, definitely have invested. I even think about this study and whether or not doing our study virtually this way is truly innovative. Many of us, of course, have done online classes and it suited a need. It was an iteration. It was a different way for us to learn. With this district-wide virtual reading, it is new, so I think we may be allowed to use the word innovative with it. And certainly as we proceed, it's not about the text that we're using in particular, as there are many, many resources throughout the text, and some people have already added additional resources in your post. I know there was a TED Talk that someone listed, so I listened to that driving in on the way to work one day. So it's definitely going to extend beyond Couros's work, and that's what it's meant to do. I have been encouraged and enthused. Mr. Akeem Adisa stopped by my office before leaving yesterday, and he shared with me the work that went on during his unified meeting over at the Hart Complex yesterday using this particular text. And Mr. Adisa shared with me how it fits so nicely within what he's already doing, within the CER method in science, within the transfer of learning, within the opportunities. And some may think, well, it's easy to fit science with innovation, but it's not about the product with innovation. Again, think about Blockbuster. Blockbuster is a little bit about the product, but when it turned over to, I think, Netflix and they had an opportunity to join, that's about the product and it's also about the service. And I think that fits us as educators. It's about the product. It is the materials that we have with the students, but it's also about the service that we provide and the learning environment and the changes that we're making both as a collective unit and individually in our classrooms. So just some of my quick thoughts from chapter 1. There's just so much to choose from. When we think about students, there's a question about, is it more important for students to know how to embed a video or know how to create one? They have to be able to do both probably. I think about something as simple as taking my car to be serviced. They now send a video, they tape it. I don't think it's in real time. And I look at my text message and it's showing me, Mrs. Walker, these are things that are going on with your car, and I am a part of the process. So technology, again, goods and service are certainly here to stay, and we need to prepare our students in ways that ensure that they are prepared on all fronts. We never want to minimize or limit. What do you want kids to do with technology? That simple T-chart on page 23 could probably take an entire staff meeting or an entire in-service day for us to think about some of those answers. I think at this time I am going to just leave you with those few thoughts from chapter 1. Again, I do want to encourage you, if you have not joined the Google Classroom, to do so, and let's really commit to having some powerful posts. Let's have some questions, and please share your insight, the risks that you've taken, things that you've wanted to try, because the whole goal of this virtual online community is to give teachers, and eventually when the TAs have the books, and all certified staff and uncertified staff, opportunities to see what's going on throughout this entire district. We don't want to live in silos with just our next door neighbors' great ideas, but we really want to spread innovation throughout EOSD. So I want to keep this short, so I'm stopping with chapter 1. I may do another screencast. Chapter 2's questions have all been posted in your Google Classrooms at this time. So I look forward to seeing you in those streams and seeing you in your classrooms. Bye.